Hi everyone, it's Jim from WildGravityTravels.com. We're here at Fun Spot Kissimmee for our next Mind Blower update, the wooden hybrid roller coaster coming to Fun Spot here in Kissimmee. So getting us started with our update, we haven't seen a whole lot more vertical construction since our last post. However, we see a lot more supports assembled on the ground of the project throughout several locations that we're going to see today. And you can see those, they're just kind of assembled, but they're waiting to be like lifted and put vertically into place. Lots of assembly going on though, all around the coaster on the ground, and we'll just be waiting to see that structure go up over here. And again, this will be the station platform we were telling you about last week, but this will be the more support structure, just again assembled all over the place right now, waiting to go up and into place. You can see some more square beams. Looks like a bigger support structure here, wider base plates and so on. So this could actually be looking at lift hill sections or sections that need more intense support. Would be more intense parts of the ride, possibly that inversion or otherwise. Here through the fence we're going to see even more support structure all around going up. We haven't seen a whole lot added again since our last update. This is that station platform, and we're going to take a look at all of the angles as always to see what we can see all around Fun Spot Kissimmee. So getting a look from this angle now of the coaster, we're seeing a couple more supports have gone up right here with some plates, possibly for more structure to be added there. But again, this looks to be coming into the station platform. And looking here to the left is the turn that we were telling you about last week, with all of that high banked wood going around here and cutting basically across the whole footprint of the coaster. So we're keeping an eye on all of this as it happens. And again, those big pieces that we saw just a moment ago are most likely for the lift hill structure. So as we've seen, the low to the ground supports or the less intense supports are just kind of L-shaped plates. Here we get an up-close look at some of those other supports that are assembled but sitting on the ground. Notice they have a square structure. That'll be more supportive than those L-shaped plates and beams that are upholding some of the track. So what we'll actually be seeing here is, what we could be seeing here is structure for the first drop. As I said, some more intense movements on the coaster. And again, we're just seeing a lot of construction being done on the ground right now. Nothing being lifted into place, possibly waiting for a crane, maybe some nighttime action we'll have to check out very, very soon, as some of this stuff will have to be lifted into place without guests in the park. The park is hopping right now. Sure, you're hearing a lot of the background noise as we're walking around here. So hopefully you're enjoying the updates and the background music and noise and screams of fun. So as we're now standing across the pathway on the other side of Fun Spot, looking over at the coaster, I wanted to give an update on that Scream and Swing. They actually called the Scream and Swing here at Fun Spot Kissimmee Hot Seat. It has been torn down. We've seen pictures of it in our past updates of the parts of the ride Hot Seat sitting in the side storage lot. We've actually now started to see footers right here, and Fun Spot's social media page has actually, Twitter page has actually told us that these are the footers for where Hot Seat will be moving to. As a reminder, it was in the back turn where we don't see any supports yet, but the coaster will definitely have a large impact there. So the ride Hot Seat would not be able to stay there. So this is where it will be going. And we can already see some footers in place here. Lots of concrete work there. Even some support bolts coming out of the concrete. So it's just a matter of time before we see that getting put back into place. And hopefully we can see the swing screaming through the air again. Over the water, actually, be a better location for the ride, in my opinion, here at Fun Spot. So we'll take a look at the parts still sitting in the side lot here in just a moment as we continue our update from Fun Spot Kissimmee. So here from the outside of Fun Spot, looking inward towards the park, we just see those supports again here, sitting on this corner and all down throughout the construction site that we're going to see as we walk down through here. You can see all the supports we've been telling you about. Again, they haven't done a whole lot more vertical work since our last update. However, we did see a few additional beams and posts going up around. Looks like they've been mostly focused on that assembly though that we've been seeing on the ground. So as we get up here, we're gonna take a look. A few more pieces actually went up after our last update. Right here, we can see another turn, and this comes out of another high bank turn that we were looking at before. We really highlighted it last week from multiple angles, and that's over there as we zoom into that. So then as we pull back out, we can see that the track just kind of comes right across here and goes right into this turn, or what looks to be this turn right here. And then from there, we really don't have much else in the way of vertical construction right now. So it definitely slowed down after it had really taken off that first week and a half or so of construction. Now we've definitely slowed back down. So as we get over here, we're gonna take a look. This is actually where hot seat used to be, down here on the corner, almost by that red shed. That actual, as we zoom in here, that yellow booth right there is actually the hot seat photo booth for ride photos. And that was for the Scream and Swing, which we showed you where it will be going now. So all around here we can actually see support structure all over the place, sitting around, waiting to go up. A lot of it looks to be, again, really heavy, maybe even taller support bases for the lift hill or first drop, which will be actually going like right through the middle of this footprint. Here we see some of the lesser supportive support structure, and that sounds like oxymoron, but you know, just using those L beams, so definitely a little different here. Those could be more for this turn, getting another angle at that. So we'll definitely be checking this out as we walk on around. Again, this will be the back end of the coaster here, coming out of the turn, on one end of the footprint rather, not really the back end, if you will. So this is where hot seat was, the Scream and Swing. And if you actually look on top of that red building now, we can actually see where the seats are being stored for hot seat. And the rest of the ride is actually being stored just across the street here at the storage area. And we're gonna be walking over there next. Wrapping up with a look at the supply lot, we see the parts there in the distance. I'm gonna zoom into those first, and we'll get a different angle look at them here in just a moment. You can see the parts of, here's the seat bases, as well as the big like spinning spindle that would be at the top of hot seat, the Scream and Swing, sitting out here in the supply yard, which we've shown you before. Here we also see like large packs of wood, pallets of wood. You can see some of them actually now have written on their dents. I would imagine that is for a specific section of the coaster, obviously. All of it's for a specific section, but that dense wood may be used for something a little more supportive, or you know, a specific area of the coaster that they have in mind. So we're just seeing lots and lots of pallets and racks of wood coming in still sitting here. Some of it obviously being used as we take a walk on down here, kind of moving a little quickly just to get to something else good to see. And so this is a look at the other end of the supply lot. And off here in the distance, we actually see some more workers. The workers are actually out here today. We didn't see any on the construction site, but they're actually back here. And it looks like they're doing some of that assembly work that we've seen on site, actually towards the back. And we're not gonna go back there because there are signs that say no trespassing, and we always stay outside the fences, don't trespass, we don't break any rules. As well you should if you're doing any construction updates yourself, or pictures as you're taking them. You wanna stay safe. So anyway, back to the construction updates. We see the, here's like, if you look, you can see kind of like a really long blue beam there. That is actually the support poles for hot seat, the Scream and Swing. So here in the foreground we see a lot more white plates laid out all across this field now. They were definitely way spread out from when we first saw them arrive. They were just on a pallet. Even some of the wood being unpacked on this end, cut into the right size pieces. Here we see some wood scraps on the ground. So definitely some exciting stuff there to see and check out all around fun spot for Mind Blower. So this has been Jim from Wild Gravity Travels. As always, you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which you should always subscribe to our YouTube page so you can see when our updates come out as they come out. The news breaks fast, and sometimes it goes straight to our YouTube or straight to our Twitter, and will be put into a post a day or so later. So be sure to follow us and check everything out as we report it. Once again, thanks for following along. My name's Jim, and have a great week, everybody. Thanks for watching.